In this video, I'm going to explain the format for citations in the American Meteorological Society. That's the format which you will use in this class, GEOS 330, for citations on your research papers. For the first paper, you must cite at least one scientific paper. I give examples of scientific journals here, and I highly suggest doing research within these journals to find the articles that you want to use for this class and the purposes of these research essays. When you create a bibliography that cites your sources of content that you found for this research paper, one of the important aspects of AMS is that you include your references in alphabetical order. If you're citing a journal article, this slide shows you exactly how to cite scientific journals. Journal articles must be cited based on author. If there are less than 9 authors of a journal article, then you have to list each author's name by their last name and their initials. Then you need to list the year of publication of the journal, the title of the paper itself, then the title of the journal, which is then italicized or underlined, the volume of the journal, the number of the issue, only if required for identification purposes, and then the first and last page numbers of the paper. Here's an example of a paper or journal article written by Archer and Jacobson in 2007. The article's name was Supplying Baseload Power and Reducing Transmission Requirements by Interconnecting Wind Farms. The journal that it was found in was called the Journal of Applied Meteorology and Climatology. The journal volume was 46, and the first and last page were 1701 to 1717. If you're referencing a book, very similar format, starting with the names, the last names, and the initials of the authors, the year of publication of the book, the title of the book italicized or underlined, the publisher's name, and then the total number of pages. Here's another example. For Wallace and Hobbs, 1977, the book was called Atmospheric Science, an Introductory Survey. The publisher of the book was Academic Press, and the page was 350. That's how you do your references at the end of your paper. If you are actually citing your references within the text, which needs to be done whenever a concept you are explaining is not common knowledge, this is how you would cite that source in the text. So imagine you're writing an essay about weather data in the United States. In text, as you're referencing that weather data and how it helps to inform your paper, if you think that a reader would not commonly know this data, you need to cite your source so that they can then find where you found the information that you did research on. And you would do it in this fashion. You may be writing a sentence this way: as mentioned in Wallace and Hobbs, and then you would put the year of the publication, 1977, the weather data in the US is blank. Or another way you can do it is shown as the second example. Weather data in the United States spans 150 years, and then in parentheses, writing Wallace and Hobbs, 1977. This is very similar to the way that APA does it, or other citation formats. One thing you will notice the difference here is that when you do an in-text citation, Wallace and Hobbs are the names of the authors, and then sometimes they'll put a comma here right before the year number. In our case, in the case of AMS, there is no need for a comma between the the author's names and the year of the publication. If there are more than 2 authors in terms of your in-text citation, you will write Wallace and Hobbs, you would write the name of the lead author, and then you would change the second part to Wallace et al. 1977, right? So that means Wallace and others. And this is what you do in the situation where you have more than 2 authors. If you only have those 2 authors, then you write their names out. This concludes my review of the in-text citation. For more information, please visit the AMS References website, and I will show you how to get to that link now. So navigate to our Blackboard Learn page and go ahead and click on the content area Research Essays, and then scroll down to the web link AMS References. If you click on AMS References, it will take you to the AMS website, where it will give you much more information how to cite journal articles, how to cite books, data sets, thesis dissertations, reports, notes, or memos, web pages, which is a popular one for this course. Many of you will research using the internet. I'm sure web pages will be part of your citations, and also in-text citations. So here's another helpful reference to use when trying to correctly or properly cite your sources.